Hi guys. So this is my comic book. Hi guys. So this is my comic book pull list. These are the comics that I'm currently getting. They're a lot fewer than I used to get. I think at the peak of my comic book buying, I was getting 60 titles a month or something like that. So definitely a decrease. I pretty much stopped for 2 years, so I'm completely rebuilding my pull list, kind of figuring out where all the titles are, where the characters are, what's going on. Marvel and DC have rebooted their reboots, and they're getting ready to reboot their reboots from the reboots. So it's kind of, it hasn't been easy to kind of pick up where I left off because where I left off doesn't exist anymore. So I'm picking and choosing, finding what I like, and this is what I'm getting so far. My Marvel stack is definitely smaller than my DC stack. I've always been primarily a X-Men fan with some Avengers sprinkled in there. And now that they're kind of integrating characters and doing crossovers and trying to figure out how to work mutants into the comic books when they can't use mutants in the movies, we have titles like The Uncanny Avengers, where you have Avengers and X-Men and Deadpool, because Deadpool. So I really like this one because I'm a fan of Rogue and Captain America and Deadpool, and I like the dynamic of these particular characters all together. So I'm getting Uncanny Avengers. Now it's 6 and 7. And I'm getting A-Force, which I've been really enjoying because I'm a huge fan of She-Hulk. And it's been quite a while, I think, since she's had a solo title. So she's in this one, and so is Captain Marvel. I've recently discovered that I really like Carol Danvers, so she might be her upcoming title, or I don't know if it's out yet or upcoming, but it's something that I may add to my pull list. I've been reading a lot of trades, and I've liked the character so far, so I think I might add that. This is one of my favorites from Marvel. Scarlet Witch has always been one of my favorite characters. She hasn't always gotten a fair shake in the Marvel universe. The writers tend to have, oh, let's do something devastating. Let's have some major shakeup and do something really catastrophic. How do we do this? Oh, I know. Let's make Wanda go crazy. So she hasn't always gotten a fair shake in stories. And this is her new title, her solo title, and it's her and us and the writers trying to figure out Wanda now that she's not technically a mutant. She's no longer Magneto's daughter. I think she's an Inhuman. You know, she's in the movies now, and they can't use mutants, so they have to make her something else, and this is them kind of trying to figure that out. I like the story so far. I like the art. It's got a very kind of distinct art style. I like the art. The story I like a lot. It's sort of dealing with her powers not being mutant powers, but actually linked to magic. Her chaos magic, which is what her power was called, is actually magic. And it has her dealing with magical things and witches and that kind of power set, the occult. And I really like where they're going with this. So I look forward to seeing how this turns out. And then the last title that I am getting is Extraordinary X-Men. X-Men and Wonder Woman were the first two books that I ever started getting. So I'm a huge X-Men fan. And for the longest time, and in my heart, Storm is still my favorite from Marvel. I love Storm. I didn't like the whole marrying Black Panther part and redoing her origin to kind of fit into that. That kind of made her slip down to number 2 and replaced by Emma Frost. So right now they're my top 2. But I had to pick up this book because Storm's in it and she leads, and I wanted to see where Storm was now, what they were doing with her, and kind of figuring out, if I like this X-Men setting, especially now that we've had, Logan's dead and I think he's still dead. I'm not sure if he's still dead. Old man Logan is in this. It's he was pulled out from whatever universe that is. So, but I got so mad because they finally hooked up Logan and Aurora, and it's like I was waiting for that for so long, and then he dies. And it's like, you know what? Screw you, Marvel. But I'm giving it a chance and seeing where I'm going with it. I haven't decided if I'm sticking with it, keeping it, dropping it, or whatever. But hopefully, it'll get better, I guess. But yeah, that is Marvel. And this is my DC stack. Starting off with Batgirl. This was another title I wasn't sure about. I really liked Oracle, the Barbara Gordon as Oracle. I adore Gail Simone's run on Birds of Prey. So I was really iffy about undoing the character and making her walk again and making her this younger version of the character who wasn't quite as mature and wasn't quite the leader that Oracle was. But I've been enjoying the book nevertheless. There's some really good stories. And it's still Barbara Gordon. And I love Barbara Gordon. So I'm sticking to this one. I like this one quite a bit. This is my absolute favorite title right now. I love DC Bombshells. I love the 40s pinup girl art. I love the story that it's primarily all of the heroines from the DC universe taking on Nazi zombies. It's a lot of fun and it's really well written and the art is gorgeous and it features Batwoman. So with her not having her solo title anymore, this is where I'm getting my dose of Batwoman and I love it. I just really wish the bombshell figurines, the statues weren't like $200 a piece. This is The Legend of Wonder Woman. It's sort of a retelling, yet again, of Wonder Woman's origin. I have a feeling that they're going to base her movie origin off of what's happening in this title. If you've seen this image from this teaser image from the movie, that's Hippolyta and her sister Antiope and Penelope, I think. I get these names wrong all the time, but their characters featured heavily in this title. The three of them are, or the two of them are Hippolyta's sisters, so it's Diana's mother and her two aunts, and I kind of have a feeling that they're going along with at least some of what's in this title as far as Diana's new origin, which she's had quite a few. I mean, the baseline is the whole clay thing, but even that's been changed in this, which is the current Wonder Woman title. She's now the daughter of Zeus instead of being made of clay. So it'll be interesting to see where they take it, because I think once they put it in the movie, it'll become her definite origin story. So Wonder Woman, of course. I have about 80% of Volume 2, which is the 80s and 90s Wonder Woman, and I have all of Volume 3 and New 52 and 52. So Wonder Woman is my biggest comic collection, my biggest title in my collection. It was the first comic book I read, so this always has a very special place in my heart, and I will never drop it, no matter how bad it gets. Not that I ever think it gets bad. I'm a little biased when it comes to Wonder Woman. This is my other new favorite title, surprisingly enough, is Harley Quinn. I really love the Harley Quinn comics. They are so much fun to read. She is such a fun character. I love where they've gone with her. I love that she's no longer the the Joker's abused sidekick. You know, it's she's really become a full-fledged awesome kick-ass character, and I love it. I also quite love the fact that she's in a open relationship with Poison Ivy. That is just awesome sauce. But yeah, I really love this book. This is obviously they're trying to make her look like the Harley that will be in the movie, which is the only reason I'm going to see Suicide Squad is because Harley's in it. And I'm really, really hoping it's a really good portrayal of Harley. And she's a fan of dachshunds. How can you not be a fan of someone who is a fan of dachshunds? This I got. The comic book shop was giving it out because, of course, Batman versus Superman just came out. Which, oh my god, Wonder Woman in this movie. Oh, yes, please. And finally, we have from DC the Poison Ivy solo title. I've only read the first issue. I haven't read these two yet, but so far so good. I'm a fan of Harley and Poison Ivy, so I picked up Poison Ivy to see what they were going to do with it, and I really like the way they're going with this character. She's not insane or the way she's been portrayed kind of in the past. She's strong and she's smart. I love the fact that she's so smart and she's caring, compassionate, and she's, you know, kind of taking on that Selena anti-hero role more than being a villain. And I like the way that they've done that. So I'm really liking this book. So yeah, those are my comics. And then last but not least, I have picked up but haven't read yet the second graphic novel for Once Upon a Time, which is still my current favorite TV show because Lana Parrilla, because Eva Queen, Regina Mills, is just all that. She is amazing and beautiful and talented and really needs to stop making me cheer for villains. Okay, that's not totally her fault. That was Wicked's fault. The first time I saw Wicked, I started cheering for villains. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. That is my comic book collection for this month. I will do another one because I pick them up every 2 months, so maybe I'll do